Recording in progress.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, we will be discussing about a particular research topic for this meeting. For in this video, I will introduce potential topics for your research, especially for those who haven't consulted yet for their potential topic. Moreover, if some of you will decide to change their topic because you've seen some interesting topic in this discussion, you may also inform me if there are changes. For this meeting, I think I will share 4 to 5 topics for potential topics that you may explore instead of your current research or for those who don't have a topic yet. Okay, so that's the target for this meeting. At least I will share to you some of the topics that I think as I talk to someone or interacting with someone from MSU IIT that might help or assist you. Okay, let me start with the first topic. Number 1 is design of information system for medicinal plants or any system actually or any plant documentation. This is in collaboration with the Department of Biological Science at the College of Science and Mathematics, where they have actually a lot of research on plants, and yet they have difficulty searching for interesting characteristics or extractions or scientific information about that particular plant. So they want to create actually a database where the database allows for a flexible search for those researchers or for those people who want to know the characteristic of plants, especially for students. So one example of a function of this one is that I want to identify which plant has a good source of, for example, oil used for this particular disease. So your system will search through the different features or stored in your database about these plants, that would assist or provide guidance to the researcher or which plant may be ranked by the number of percentage of that particular chemical component that you want. Somehow you will also organize the plants such that maybe some taxonomic information that you can that can be used so that the website will be organized. In general, I can imagine that when you choose this topic, you will think of a website wherein someone can search an item, a particular characteristic of plant in your database. Next, we have extracting tweets using UiPath RPA for analysis. So there are interesting things that you might want to extract from Twitter or from other websites such as Facebook. What the point of this research is that we can use the UiPath, or that's robotics process automation in general. There is what we call the robotic process automation, and one example of RPA is the UiPath. If we can use a UiPath to extract information in any of the websites, or to it's equivalent to web crawl the any website, that would be helpful. But in this research, you need to think of an appropriate function that you can think where the UiPath can be used. So in our initial discussion, for instance, you can extract the COVID example trend in the past year using the UiPath, or you can also an example that I've seen in the internet is that if you want to trace your graduate, for instance, for graduate for how many years, you need to search the names of that particular students. You can use, for example, a search in LinkedIn. Earlier, we have a research similar to that, but it uses a different algorithm. But this one, we can use the UiPath to extract data from the idea of UiPath or RPA is you may use it's like optical character recognition where it can extract actually the image. It can extract a text from an image. That's one feature only. It can extract, and it will be transformed into digital format. One example of this one is that if you want to may mga tuko pa. If you want to, if you want to digitize, for instance, the receipt of your company, the manual receipt, you can use RPA to automate the extraction of text within that receipts. So that's one example of RPA UiPath, and you can use your knowledge to extract. This research has not been conducted yet, but one of the founders maybe in Australia, I'm not just sure, but one of the founders of UiPath is actually an alumnus of College of Computer Studies, one of the first graduate of BS in Information Technology on that particular certain curriculum, but now currently connected to UiPath company. So he is also advocating on the use of UiPath for certain applications. Another is deployment of document management system for LGU or any organization. This is a very easy project, but this requires connection in other companies. Initially, we have talked to Bacolod, Llano del Norte as one of the local government unit that may deploy the document management system. The idea of this one is we have an existing document management system na pwede magamit, and we call it Greenstone. Greenstone, that's a library management system that we can use library management system to be installed in the LGU, and the LGU can use that to monitor or to store their example, the parang special order or the different announcement or memorandum order of the Sangguniang Bayan or whatever documentation that we had in the LGU or any organization. So we can use this. So what you are going to do in your research is to install that software to the organization and teach them how to use it. That would be an action research approach. That means that somehow you will assess the acceptance of the organization in terms of use, how they use it, and some adjustment on how because this is one way to move for digitization. So at least some of their data would be digitized, and searching for that document, for instance, would be easy in the future. So you can deploy some software on that. And it can be paired also with UiPath if you want, wherein all data would be extracted, converted to digital form through UiPath. But that would be another project maybe. But this one is we want to experiment on the acceptance, or to determine the acceptance or readiness of different organizations, especially government units, to accommodate a digitization or conversion of digitized process within the organization. But specifically, we will not program, but somehow we will reconfigure the existing Greenstone's library system and use it to store their existing documents, so that easy search, it would be easy for them to search again their documents or different issuances by the local government unit or any organization. Another is the phishing simulation study. This has been started by my previous students, and I was the advisor of this one. And I want to try it to another organization. They've tried it to Iligan City LGU, and maybe later some of the organization want to conduct also. So you can partner with other organizations to conduct a phishing study. It might be a school, as long as many of the employees are connected to the internet, as well as or they have an email address where they are regularly checking it, so that you can easily experiment on the simulation study. The issue of this one is actually ethics related, so you need to negotiate or coordinate with the company closely so that they will allow you to send email to their employees. And maybe the last is, I'm still thinking of this one if this is an IS research, but anyway, I will share it to you. Usage and acceptance of Molly as a learning management platform, both for student and teachers. I'm not sure if this has been conducted by IIT, but I was thinking this one while driving home. I'm thinking this can be conducted by IS students, considering that this is about usage and acceptance. And although we are mandatory use, but in terms of there are certain certain perception of students that we can measure into in terms of, for example, the technicalities associated with using the MOLI and how comfortable you are, considering the respondents may be the students and the faculty members. So at least you have an idea on how to evaluate the level of acceptance. So this will not require you to develop a system similar with the previous requirement, the previous one, which is phishing simulation. This doesn't require any coding, but somehow this will help the IS discipline to understand. This one is to understand the usage of a certain technology. That's our perspective in usage and acceptance, while the phishing simulation is one to understand also the usage of technology and the education level of various users in the organization. Okay, so I hope that some of you might be interested in the topic, especially for those who haven't yet decided a topic. Of course, I'm also open to discuss with you what topic you have found in the field or what particular area you're interested to research to, para mas madali, kasi it's easy for you to research a topic when you're interested in. But if you don't have any choice, you can choose among the topic, and maybe Friday, if I can think of another topic to be shared with you, that would be last before we move on to start writing na talaga, so that we can follow the schedule na we can still have a hope to defend within the semester. Good luck, and please inform me if you have any concern. Bye-bye.